think anyone's actually talking about this, and I'm keeping up with the lie. Having a hard time believing that this chassis is carbon fiber. Alright, let's talk about the Rlaarlo. This is the AM-X12. So I just got this in. I've had about a week to just kind of look over it and just kind of look at every piece and everything about it before I started actually driving it on the track. So let's just go over a couple things that I've noticed right off the bat. And I originally wanted to try to run it stock as is out of the box, but I just couldn't do it. And I'll explain that in just a second. So quickly, let's just go over first what's actually included in this package. So quickly, we have just some stickers, a Rlaarlo catalog, which I'm sure just has their cars. Yeah, so Rlaarlo catalog. This one right here, they honestly, if they would have just sold just the body on that one, I think they would have probably did really well on sales on just the body. So let's put that away. Alright, little reminder, this is foam for a battery. So that's all the paperwork that's included. So that's now, look at here. Alright, so we have a bag of accessories, and let's open it up, see what's in it. Okay, so high-speed foam bumper. That's for like speed runs, so you don't hit anything head on. Drip screws. Alright, I actually added my own drip screws, so I didn't know it came with drip screws. That's good. I don't know why they just didn't put them in. Instruction manual. Just a install guide, which this is good also. This is actually something that's never been done for a WL car. So for them to kind of give detailed instruction on how to take something apart, how to put it back together, that should have been done way back when the WL came out. So very good instructions, and that's a good little just instruction manual just to kind of keep handy just in case you need to repair something. We have a basic charger. These are metal shock towers. We have Allen's pins. We have hinge pins and also arms. So it looks like they only gave the front. Yeah, so they only gave the front metal shock tower, and that is the one that's going to have the most impact. So I guess that's okay. Won't match when you break it, but at least you have a replacement. So that's kind of go over first all the different extra stuff that came with this. So this is just necessity that's going to come with it. Wheel nuts, I think that should also just come with it. But these other parts, these are kind of extras. So this one right here, the bumper, I guess that's kind of good to have. These are only a couple bucks, so that's not really like a huge thing. Same with the arms. So what's interesting though is, like, if you look at the price and value of this car and the price point, this is basically a WL with a slipper clutch and a box and some parts. So you're pretty much buying, you're paying for, like, I guess the extra parts in the box along with the slipper clutch, which kind of gives it that premium price, I guess. I don't really see that, because no matter which way you look at it, this is a WL. This is not made from, any one other factory besides the WL warehouse. These are all WL parts. Rlaarlo, they don't actually make parts. They actually subcontract them to, outside anywhere like in China, and they just have the parts basically put together for them. How do I know that? I've been selling mini RCs for over 2 years, and this is my little business. It's not just a YouTube track of just driving around. So very familiar with all the parts that they use. These parts have been available for WL cars since WL came out. The thicker arms, thicker dog bones and the CVDs. The idea looks good, but what happens is, on the smallest part, that's the weak part of these dog bones, and they will snap because they don't use a high quality metal. So I purchased these dog bones way before this car even came out, because I have to purchase and test stuff out all the time. So there's nothing on here that I see that is actually anything that's new. I did notice that the CVDs have, they don't use the pins, so that's something that's a little bit different. But that's just the head over here, the CVD head. So the shaft is still going to be the same as the other ones, old WL style, just upgrades, I guess. Metal gearing, it is metal gearing throughout, which is steel. Again, that is something that's been available for WLs since it came out. They kind of fine-tuned it so it meshes together perfectly, and I think with the WL cars there was an issue with the mesh, and there was modifications you had to make that mesh correctly. So not bad on that. I went ahead and kind of modified this already. So we're running the original shock oil, but I did remove the shock collars, and what that does, that lowers the car. This car was sitting extremely high stock. I want to say like almost off-road, like basher style. So I had to lower the car. I did the front and back, and I set the droop screws. So this car should be ready to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to like these tires or not, even though they're carpet tires. It is a larger diameter, so I normally run the smaller diameter tire on the carpet, and something larger diameter I'd be like street or alright, larger diameter tires would be more street or like dirt. So it would give that clearance that you would want for off-road. This is going to give it more of a top speed and cut down on acceleration just a little bit because of the bigger tires. So I'm going to try this out right now. Another thing I noticed about these tires, these are the, I guess, generation 3 WL tires. So there's multiple generations of these tires. The first generation was only filled with foam. The second generation, the tire actually has bars that go across, rubber bars that give it more reinforcement. This will be the third generation that actually has the bars with foam. So no other WL has those, so it kind of gives it more of a firm feel, front and back. So that actually would be good for the carpet, so that's a good thing. Let's see what other things I noticed. These little washers right here, these are reversed. They actually should be underneath the head here, should be underneath this, so it has a metal guide to rub against, not the actual carbon fiber against plastic. So that's installed wrong. Let's see what else we have on here. This is how it came out of the box. So ESC looks okay. I'm sorry, the receiver looks okay, double-sided tape. The ESC though looks like it's about to just pop out. So double-sided tape, I don't even think it's double-sided tape. I might, oh yeah, it is. It's just a foam elevated, and it looks like it's just a crappy piece of foam. So we're gonna give this a shot, running it on, well, stock batteries at 2800. I normally like to run 1500, so I think it's only fair if I actually run a 1500 on this car for the track. So that way I can get a feel compared to other cars. Let's see, what else do I notice on here? Alright, so this thing I'm going to actually save for last, and this is kind of bothering me because I don't think anyone's actually talking about this, and everyone repeats everything that they have listed. But if you notice, like on most of these Chinese cars, they actually they pretty much lie to you about a lot of different things number wise. Amperage of the ESCs normally are off. Speed run, total top speed is going to be off most of the time. So they're very consistent with keeping up with the lie. And the problem that I'm having now is I'm having a hard time believing that this chassis is carbon fiber. I've never seen carbon fiber have that much flex. So what I wanted to do, I actually have real carbon fiber. So I wanted to put it up next to it and kind of compare what it looks like. And I'm not sure if we can get this on camera. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. And we're going to also get some pictures that I took. So at close, if you're actually looking at this, and that's first break down what carbon fiber is. Carbon fiber is almost like a fabric, and what they are, they're just weaves on top of each other. So this one's going to go down, come up over the next weave, come up over the next weave. So that's what carbon fiber is. It's like very similar to how cloth would be. Like it's actually woven into each other, up and down, up and down. So the issue that I have with this is there's no weave here. And if you look really close, it looks to me like an extremely good print. I was able to, get a magnifying glass and like actually zoom in, and to me it just looks like a print. I have a hard time believing that this is carbon fiber. So I don't know if there's a new style carbon fiber that doesn't have the weave to it, but I just don't believe this is carbon fiber. I believe this is going to be like a resin with like a carbon fiber print on the outside, and it does have less weight than metal, so that is a given. But its flexibility is way worse than aluminum counterpart. So I already built one of these, my own version of an AM-X12 out of a WL. So the weights are going to be almost the same, and it doesn't have the flex that this has. That's insane to me. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I highly doubt this is real carbon fiber. So let's give it a quick look real quick, just up close, and let's give it a run. So nice vehicle. Again, it is just a premium WL. So we're gonna see how it runs on the track. For a price point, I have a hard time. I really have a hard time referring this to people for what it is for price. An LC blows this thing out of the water. There is no comparison in quality. This, again, the selling points in this would be, you get all this free stuff, and you get a box, and it has a Dumbo RC. But what are we paying for right here? What kind of car does that? So, all right, let's get a battery in it. Let's actually run it, and let's see what it runs on the track. Just basic, no times, and we'll run it versus like an LC or a WL that I built and see what it feels like. So let's test it out. Okay, here we go. This is my first time turning it on. It is not trimmed out or anything, so let's do that now. All right, so on button, you can tell is right here, so let's turn that on. Actually, should have turned on my transmitter first. Alright, so I could feel that 27 tooth pinion already. It has a lot of wheel spin, a lot of weight to that throttle. So running a 60C, this is a 1500 mAh. This is the battery that I run in all my cars, all my LCs and the BHC for the track. I like the lighter weight of the 1500. I think the max I would go is 1800. But 1500, 1600, and like 1800 are like the batteries that I actually like to pick. The stock battery comes with a 2800, which is a little bit too much for this track. A little bit too much run time and weight. You don't really need to run for like 25, 30 minutes on a track. You just kind of want to get a couple runs, make some adjustments, and then try to run again. So this is set up kind of for track, I guess. It's the best stock setting that I can get without actually modifying anything. Again, all we did was just take off the shock collars and set the droop screws. So let's run this as a bone stock car out of the box. Let's see how it does. Okay, so the 27 tooth pinion has that like turbo lag effect feel, and what happens is it actually feels like it's building up momentum, and once it goes, like it's kind of hard to stop. This is right now just running the 27 tooth. It does come with a 17 tooth also, and my WL that I built actually is set up with the 17 tooth, so I know the 17 tooth is much better for like track use. But I'm just testing this out of the box to see what it feels like. That way we can kind of get an idea where we need to tune from here. So let's get the battery back in. ESC is about to shoot out somewhere. I'm not even holding on, but it happens. I'm not going to knock it for that one. So I did get this car at on a good price. So this is what Rlaarlo does. They actually they bring down their prices quite a bit so people can do reviews. Everyone gives an amazing review because of the price that they paid for it. And you know, at some point the price does go up. So when people see reviews, they're like, man, this must be a really amazing car. Well, the thing is, it's an amazing car for the price that they got it for, not the price that's available to, like, you know, the main consumer. So it has no, like, down low torque. It has speed, but it has no down low torque. It's so weird. It feels like this car wants to open up on a straightaway. That's what the gearing feels like. So that's why I don't really care for these tires being so big, because that turning radius sucks. And the reason why I know that also is because the WLs feel the same way with that larger tire at a 0 offset. So whenever I run this tire, I run like a 6 offset, anything bigger than a 0. And it gives it a lower stance. It doesn't feel so tall. Okay, let's try to see if we can adjust something really quickly. I want to try to see if I can get more turn radius, so let's see if we can do steering, dual rate. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So when you go too much on the turning, when you have grip at this high of a car, then it's just going to tip. So it's my first traction roll. See if we can get another, maybe a couple good runs. God, this car feels weird. It just, even with the smaller tire right now, I don't even know if that would actually, oh. Come here. Okay, first issue, let's see what happened. I haven't even made it around the track. Alright, so we have, there we go. There's your Rlaarlo for you. And this is why I don't like this car. I haven't even done anything to it and already broke a outdrive cup. I don't know what to say about this car, to be honest with you. I kind of want to fix it. I kind of want to possibly put a little bit more effort into it, but I just have a problem with this company. I have a problem with this subdivision of wltoys, kind of like the Toyota Lexus type of deal. That's all this is. This is basically just a subdivision of WL that made a little bit better product. And it's not that they made a better product, they put all the parts together that are already available as upgrades for the WL and put it into one car. I honestly don't even know what to say. Okay, so I have that drive cup. I will replace it, and we're going to give it another shot and see if we can make it past 4 laps.